Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. The Rangers scored 10 runs on 2 outs, and then they scored an 11th later on just for funsies as they take game 4 and lead the series 3-1. Let's do it.
I knew it was coming. I knew it.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. It's brought to you by SeatGeek. Code JohnBoy postseason. Get you 10% off the next couple days. If you want to use that, you could have used a discount code before. You can use it again. It's November 1st, and the postseason might be over soon, but the discount is not. Code JohnBoy postseason, 10% off. Also, subscribe to the channel, please and thank you. Trev, nice hat. It says obey 3 times on it.
So subscribe to the channel, people. That's the whole point of this episode. Yes, James, Jacob, Bieber's looking good with the hair. Are you something, Biebs?
Yeah, we don't have to get into all of that, but
Okay, that's fine.
Are you Tommy Wiseau?
no.
Oh.
Weird Al Yankovic.
No, I've gotten a few of those today. It all plays. This can be reused for both of those costumes.
Well,
Trying to look extraordinary
I'm
for
happy
you tonight.
I'm happy with your outfit. It looks good. Happier with your outfit than I was with this game. Unless you're a Rangers fan, you're stoked. Woo!
Super
Corey
stoked.
Seager gets going, or not gets going, keeps going. Marcus Semien gets going. All the chips are on your side of the table. It's heavy over here. But we do have one Snakes believer still among us. Jacob, how you doing?
Tell
big
him,
guy?
Jim. Jim,
Oh.
Trev. BBD, I'm doing well. When I faked through that gourd at you, I did break my glass of water. So dealing with a little bit of broken glass over here. Another good omen for the Snakes. I'm doing all right. I mean, it's, God, it's an awful game. Two out, 5-run rallies.
Owie.
Miguel Castro, wild pitch to start the first one. I mean, as bad of a feeling as it could be, and I don't know, the Snakes are fighting, the crowd's being loud, but it's all for naught. Although, appreciate the managers keep getting those pitching changes towards the end of the games. And yeah, it's, hey, the Snakes have been counted out 4 times this postseason. It's either the final chapter to an awesome story, or I know this Texas team and the power of Corey Seager and just guys up and down the lineup, and a bullpen that, well, I guess at the end of the day they didn't give much of an effort. But I don't know. You put up 11 runs, you win a lot of games. So tough watch.
Get your burn on so we can get into this.
Oh, yeah. Burn it. Burn it.
Get your burn on, baby.
Burn it. He's a
It's
burner.
gonna be a sad burn right here. The saddest burn.
You gotta
the
find it. There's normally more warning before them. Let's start over. Let's start over.
Burn.
Oh, I still don't have it. Let's see, guys. It's that kind of day. Okay, we've got it.
We've got it.
World Series Game 4 with the Snake Show fight. 2 bullpen games provide a scary sight. Lefties start toeing the slab. Rangers lineup began, and with 2 outs was a series surprise. Semien bashed. It was a double pass. Then Seager mashed. A 2-run blast. Jankowski slashed. Adolis was mashed. Semien gashed. Another 3-run blast. The Texas Monster Mash did a 2-out bash, and the pitching held kinda. Shout out to Lourdes and Gabby as they clip them late. Heaney, Dunning, Bradford, Burke, Stratton, Smith, Leclerc. Texas wins an ugly one, 11-7 final.
It was the
I knew it was gonna be
Monster
good.
Mash.
I knew it was going to be good.
Had
Great
a lot
job.
of-
Great
A
job.
lot of game to think about it.
A lot of great art comes out of sadness and pain.
Wow.
It's the unfortunate truth of our world.
This is the story of the 2015 Twins.
Oh my gosh. Well, we were okay that year.
There's a good team.
More like the 2011 Twins and 2016 Twins.
The Rangers are good. The Rangers are good. Garcia out. No one gives a shit. His replacement hits 2 big ol' hits. Seager hits a slider for a homer. I was talking about how he's hit a changeup yesterday. So if he's hitting non-fastballs, you're fucked. They throw a slider in the zone. Don't pitch to him. I mean, I thought the whole world knew. Don't pitch to him. Make the other guys beat you. Just an update. The other guys are going to beat you as well. That's for sure. And yeah, I don't know. It's awesome for the Rangers. 2 5-run innings. That's what they do. They cluster, fuck you, and score a ton of runs, and they're relentless, especially if you give them extra outs, which they got some big extra outs. Snakes played sloppy, and it cost them big time. It's also tough to bullpen. Those first couple innings, when your bullpen isn't incredibly deep and you don't have like length guys like the Rangers, you know, their bullpen consists of 2 ex-starters. Diamondbacks have that. They didn't use that. They went to Castro and it bit them. So I don't know. Kind of like if you're a Rangers fan, absolutely amazing game. I'm not knocking them. They're so good and fun and they hit. But as like an MLB product, like, and I, you know, like, okay, we're bullpenning and this is the result. It's like, throwing your 5th guy and then that's the result. It's kind of like, this is bad. It's a bad game, bad product.
The result is bad for sure. I would agree with that as far as like a baseball product, but I think bullpen games have a chance to be fun too, and they can be good. They can provide a lot of really good matchups. This one just got away, and I'm curious. Like, I'm such like a unbiased observer to this series. I don't really have a lean one way or the other. I'm curious to see how like Diamondbacks fans feel about this game because, as you mentioned, you get the triple by Simeon drives into it's 2-0, and then you have 3-0, excuse me. But then you have Seager with like a bunch of open bases. Like if you just like maybe don't pitch to him, maybe you end that inning 3-0. Okay. And then the next inning, I understand they scored 5, but that was after a 2-out error. Like, could this game easily have been 3-0? And then all of a sudden it's, you know, the back end of the game can turn for you. But as Torey Lovullo mentioned, pre-game, he was just talking about the umpires and the previous game. He was saying, look, you might have given them some pitches, they might have given us some pitches, but Texas took advantage of those situations and won the game because of it. They did the exact same thing today. Like, you can't just pitch to Corey Seager with bases open with the way he's feeling, especially with Adolis out of the lineup, and then you can't make. I know Christian Walker has been an unbelievable first baseman defensively this year, but you can't give him those. You just can't. Not when you're down 2-1 in a series, not when they can put up runs. Like, you know, this team can cluster runs. It was just, I guess my point is, do Diamondbacks fans feel like that game should have been much closer than it was?
Jake?
I'm a cousin to Diamondbacks fans. Here's what I think. I think no. If I'm being honest, like you can play a lot of little games, like, because this game does end up getting decided early. And hey, the crowd was going bonkers, which, like, there's a part of my sports fandom that appreciates, like, if we're gonna be here for this, let's give everything we've got. And a couple at bats late mattered more than we would have thought anything in this game would have mattered. But in the second inning, Mantiply comes back out because they're trying to get him through Nate Lowe. Josh Young's in between them, who gets slid up the lineup because Adolis is out, right? So here's your opportunity. He hits a nice double. So, like, that's one of your moments where you're creating your own luck. You took a chance and that one beat you. He ends up getting low. You go to Castro, he gets Heim, and then you got 2 strikes, and then in the wild pitch gets away. Team that scored the first run, both of these teams, if they score the first run, they're undefeated. Obviously, when you score the next 9, that's a bigger factor than probably that stat that's looming. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of little things that end up happening. Taveras hadn't had a hit in the postseason, and then he gets walked after the wild pitch. Jankowski, who's subbing in. It's an end of the bat knock that gets through, but it's an end of the bat knock that gets through, and that's baseball. That, when Seager comes up, you bring in the lefty, and like you're saying, it becomes one of these weird empowerment things. Okay, so we're bringing out one of our 3 lefties on a bullpen day, and Corey Seager's up. Well, here's what you can't do. Give up the 2-run home run. So, you can try to get him out, and if you do, awesome, but you can't give up the 2-run homer, and you did, and it's 5-0, and then it's 10. So I know there's a Christian Walker potential double play, and he's a Gold Glover, and he's having some tough swings with the bat, and I don't know, as a non-but Snakes fan, like when Christian Walker botches that ball and he gives kind of the like, my bad, I got the next one, it's like, man, we just don't know how many next ones we got at this point. So no, it's someone in the chat asked a question during the live stream. They were like, has this game felt closer than it was? And the answer is no, because they were up 10-0, so it never felt close. But the Rangers scored 10 of the runs in this game, 10 of their 11, with 2 outs in the 5th, both in situations that, like, not even being like, hey, they could have got out of it. Like, I don't know. Gabby Moreno blocks that ball. What happens? Christian Walker, a Gold Glover, turns a double play. I don't know. So, no, the game was not close at all, and I don't think Snakes fans feel great about anything that happened. And you hope you can do some of the cool stuff, like they scored at the end, and that got the bats going, and they made Leclerc come out. You hope you can say some of that stuff, but you're a native Aldiing from golfing.
Yeah, well, I have double bias coming into this, Trev. Actually, I equally hate both teams, and as well as every other team in Major League Baseball.
I was seeing some comments about that. Yeah,
The comments definitely say that.
I think the Rangers fans and the Diamondbacks fans should get together and figure out which team I hate more, and they should fight for my hatred. So I think that as soon as Marte got thrown out trying to steal second, it was like, oh,
Hey, why you throw his helmet? He was so mad.
Because it was like, oh,
ow.
They were like 17 for 17, 18 for 18 at one point, stolen bases. It was like, oh, we can't do that anymore. And then the Rangers are gonna mash.
Monster mash.
That honestly, I thought they were gonna like review that Marte. I didn't think he was safe, but I was like, God, like that's your whole thing. Let's just go. Let's take a look. And they didn't. And I was like, oh boy. That's not good.
No, I mean, yeah. I go back to Sewald blowing the save. Like this could be a 2-2 series instead of, one foot on a banana peel, the other in the grave type situation for the Diamondbacks. It's those little things, man. We mentioned the couple here that just turned the game completely, or at least gave them a chance. The Rangers extra chances. You can't do that. But really, I mean, and I don't mean to go back to it too much, but in a postseason game, you give your closer a lead with 2 outs. Like you got to get those games. Like there's just, like you had mentioned, Jake, there's not a lot of chances to give your closer the game with a 2-run lead. Like that's it. Especially when you trade for a guy, he's been great. Should be 2-2, but instead it's 3-1. And I don't even know where else to go with this game. Like Ryan Nelson, great job. I got it up. He did retire 11 straight. Like that seems nice. Like where was that? I guess where's he been? I don't know how to like slice it up for D-backs fans to be nice about it. Hey, good job at the end for getting it close, but I mean, let the Rangers score 5 runs in back-to-back innings, dude. Like
D-backs fans were down to the Phillies. They had to win 2 games on the road, and they did. And Mad Dog Russo retired, and we haven't heard from him since. And I think they should have some faith that they can pull it out. It's very tough. 6 teams have done it. We've seen it recently with the Cubs, but that's kind of their identity. Snakes alive, not dead yet. Don't count us out. They will probably use the end of the game as motivation and like going in the clubhouse, and we got Leclerc out and we put up runs late, even though it was kind of like, scoring on the backup goalie.
The Brock Burke comes in. He's
that
replacement.
motivates you, use it because motivation's awesome. But I don't think the Rangers are like worried about what happened at the end of this game at all. So Snakes should believe.
Wow, dude.
But I don't think anyone else has to for them anymore.
You guys hate the Rangers, huh? No, man. It's one of the funny things in sports that it's like both of these teams have had magical, awesome seasons to get here. And if you start printing the DVD, there's going to be one team on the other side of it. So, hey, if the Snakes win Game 5, Poppy Gordo in the pool. I don't know. That's some energy. And you know, you win tomorrow, and you start saying, "Did Ryan Nelson's performance mean something? Did Christian Walker getting a couple hits today mean something? Leclerc coming out today mean anything?" Like, or on the Texas Rangers side, are you saying, man, we got Paul Sewald in that first game. Travis Jankowski fills in for Adolis Garcia, who's having a historic postseason, and he comes through with a couple massive hits. You know, like, the DVD's getting burned for each teams, and the Snakes can't have any more gray periods. Otherwise, the DVD ends. So, I don't know. I think, like, obviously, it's win one game. Zach Gallen hasn't had a great postseason. Evaldi's kind of been Evaldi, although the Snakes gave him the work. You win one game, and you got to go on the road and win two. You just did that. So it's win one game tomorrow. And I know baseball, we get caught up sometimes, and we're like, oh, my God. Dodgers are playing the Snakes. They're probably going to wipe the floor with them. Crazy things can happen. You got to win one game tomorrow, or it's over. Analytics, you can steal that one, Mad Dog.
Dude, you got me fired up a little bit, bro.
I'll fire that.
I think I'm rooting for the Snakes now.
I'm rooting for the Snakes to win tomorrow. For Jake's fun trip.
Me three.
And for getting more good baseball. But the Rangers look crazy. And I think we've been doing all our episodes just reacting to the games. Do we have another sponsor? My next thought can be brought to them by them.
Maybe the DraftKings Sportsbook?
Yeah, I know them.
There might be limited baseball up, people. And within that, DraftKings is still giving you $5 on any baseball bet. And you'll get $200 instantly in bonus bets. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code TALKIN. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on baseball only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TALKIN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. 21 plus, ages vary by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See dkng.co/baseball for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply, Jim.
They always do. We, for a while, if anyone used to listen to us, we're like, what are the Rangers doing? Trev held a gripe against them, and we were like, what's their plan? Like, what are they going to do? And then they went out and they got Simeon and they got Seager and they spent all this money, and you're like, okay, but the pitching. And then the next offseason, they go get all the pitching. Now, granted, those guys got hurt, but I was like, okay, they do have a plan. They are attacking, slowly. I don't know if they thought it was going to be this year. Actually, we do, because we know that we've talked to some of the players, and the players were telling us, like, we're winning the World Series. Like, we're winning the division. Now, they didn't do that, but then they beat the Astros. Like, so they did believe when they broke camp, they believed this was a World Series team. Maybe other people didn't, and maybe some people did. But I think maybe we should do a deep dive later on in the offseason of, like, the turnaround. Everyone's talking lost 100, but this wasn't homegrown, or like, this was old school. Let's go spend money and give our fan base, a winning team. And they kept guys that they should have traded at times. And then they went all in with Lance Lynn and Minor and Kluber that one season, and they had to dodge them. So they've been trying. And then this was like the mix that got them there. So if they end up winning this series and continue, I'd love to kind of do a deep dive of how they built this, because it seems fluky the way people are talking about it. They lost 100 wins last year because the Diamondbacks did as well. But the Rangers had a bit more of intent of being like, by 2023, we want to be a World Series contender. Like this was their year and their plan. D-backs might be a little ahead of what they set out to be. I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool if you're a Rangers fan and you've been following along and, believing in the pieces in the puzzle building.
I mean, I don't want to crown them too early either because Jake just got me so pumped up for the Snakes the next 3 games. But you're right. It doesn't even matter what happens. Let's just say they lose the World Series. Say the Snakes come back and they take it from them. Every single fan of baseball should want their ownership to act like this. Like this is the blueprint. Okay. It shouldn't be there's 2 ways for us to help our team, developing and maybe some trade. No, like there's many ways to put together a roster. Part of it is free agency. Like you got to be able to go get free agents. You have to develop talent. You have to trade. You have to draft right. Like all of those things should be part of what you do. You can't shy away from free agency. And if some shit goes down at the beginning of the year, you can't blow your team up. There are still pieces to be added. You can still make your team a contender. So every fan should want their ownership to act like the Rangers have acted. Going and spending in free agency. There, you mentioned there's not a lot of homegrown guys. There are some homegrown guys that are doing things. And if they're not homegrown, like they at least were in their minor leagues too. Like, so they have a mixture of guys, and they didn't give up, dude. Like DeGrom gets hurt. Like they didn't give up.
We'll just go get Monty.
Seager had a bad first year with them. They didn't just give up. Like they continued to add, and like this is the blueprint, people. Like this is what Steve Cohen wants to do too.
Yeah.
So when
and
you
said
to sell you on a 5-year rebuild, like point to this. So I want
Carter and Young drafted.
Yeah.
I think those are the only 2.
Where did Nate Lowe come from?
He was a trade. We can unpack this in the offseason, but it's a little bit of everything. I mean, I think the hidden secret, I think they have 7 starting pitchers who are making 10+ mil this year. So, a lot of those guys are hurt, but that's part of your formula. And by the way, we all kind of giggled when Jacob deGrom said, I signed here to win a championship, and now they're a game away. So they still got to win that one game, no.
What I'm saying. Let's go Snakes. Longo said the same thing, though.
What'd he say?
He believed as well. He told us that. We all said, okay, bro, relax. But here, he's in the freaking World Series. 2 different ways to get there.
See you in the pool.
Go the baseball. Go. And Jake, swimming abilities. Doon, doon, doon.
Now.
I'm excited for you, Poppy.
Jake sucks.
What's going on, YouTube? I'm at the pool. Vibes are
a
high.
I'm at the
I have a guy that
Diamondbacks
works for Fox
pool.
that's pretty good. I'm gonna make sure he calls the booth to get you on the camera.
Jump in and lose your bathing suit.
Get those nips ready.
Oh,
And have another bathing suit underneath that's longer.
someone give me my bathing suit.